What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Lock It In podcast. We got a special guest for you this week, Benjamin Bosmans-Verdonk. He is a sixth-year senior from South Carolina. He played 3 years at South Carolina, 3 years at Illinois before that, and he is now about to head into the lawyer world. I mean, you looking forward to life after basketball?
Man, I can't wait. Been preparing myself for a while now for this, and the moment's finally here. But first of all, before I say anything more, thank you guys for having me. It's an honor, like I said earlier. You guys have been doing great things, and I can't wait to stay tuned with whatever else y'all got going on. So,
Nice, man. Well,
That's
kind of
love right there. That's love.
Yeah, kind of going into that, I think a lot of people who don't know your story, they know you graduated in 3 years from Illinois and you went in the portal and you were trying to find a home and you came here and decided to get your law degree while also playing SEC basketball. Kind of like talk about like just the obviously like you probably explained this a million times to people with the balance between basketball and your law degree. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I think you're like top 10 in your class. Am I right?
yes, yeah.
I
I
mean
mean,
Hell
that's
yeah.
pretty.
That's
it's not
awesome.
it's not final yet. We got one more
Yeah.
semester, but as it stands right now, yeah, I'm in the top 10%, like doing solid.
So what does it look like on a daily basis when you're like juggling practice and school and stuff? Because I know like from my experience, like when I was in school at Citadel, and I know there was sometimes I was missing labs, I was missing afternoon classes for road trips and stuff like that. I know from playing with you for a year that like there was a lot of times where you actually miss practice and you're late to games and stuff because of just the hardship of staying committed to the law degree.
hmm Yeah, it definitely took a lot, man. I feel like every day starts real early and ends pretty late. Just because like, you're constantly on the go. Like I wake up, try to get some readings in where I can. And then it's time to go to class. And then between class, you gotta go to practice and like you gotta make sure you eat. And you have a live before that and all that stuff. And then when you get back, you got another class, and then at night you realize, oh my gosh, this little reading that I did in the morning isn't even close to everything I have to do today. So, man, it's long days. I guess as far as like scheduling goes, you kind of learn over time how to like manage your time and like be super efficient with the like, I guess like 5 minutes that sometimes like become available. Um, I mean, as much work as it took on my end, I feel like it's definitely also, like been a team effort as far as like the people around me who like supported me, the athletic department allowing me to do this and like allowing me to miss like practice whenever I had class, which was not a whole lot, but obviously, I mean, it's not common for like as a player to like sometimes have to sit out practice because you got to go to class.
Yeah.
And like the flexibility I was able to count on was huge. And on the other side from the law school, like, it's a lot of travel as you guys know. And so, I think it depends kind of how my schedule falls each semester, but my the spring semester when we were playing together, there were like a couple classes that I missed more classes than I was able to attend.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just because of like how the games were road tripping, all that. We made it postseason. So, all that just took me away from the classroom, which, come exam period, like you feel it and you have to like
Mm-hmm.
I
really
bet.
put to do all right. But, 3 years further, like here I am, like it's almost over. It's been
Yeah.
crazy.
I can think of a
Nah,
few times from like even our year together, but even stories of the year before I got there. I know specifically when the George Washington game when you guys were playing up
Oh,
in DC and you the finals are correct me if I'm wrong, your finals are like non-negotiable. Like there's no rearranging that. Like that takes
yeah.
precedence over an SEC basketball game and
oh,
they were
definitely.
playing the what was it? I think you had the exam the day of the game, and there was a night game in Washington D.C. You had to catch a flight later that night. 5 minutes. You landed and got into the gym 5 minutes before the game started, and you still started that game.
It was
That's
crazy.
crazy.
It was crazy. That was actually my first exam, and like leading up to like exam period, like the dean of the law school, who was a great guy, like owe him a lot. I mean, super super thankful for the opportunity. But he would tell me like, if I was you, like I wouldn't play no games before you finish all your exams. And that game you just talked about, like that was after my very first law school exam. So it's the first time you're going through like I don't know, however long it took, like 4 hours of like just I don't know like it took everything I had
Mm-hmm.
because like in law school you don't really have grades throughout the semester. Like it really just comes down to
Hmm.
um one final and like you gotta perform, you gotta do well, like you study and everything is just is tested at that point. So after I was done with it, I was dead tired. But they had the PJ ready. They
Yeah.
had the driver ready to come pick me up. I had my bags ready. Um, and like you said, like I arrived like 10 minutes before the game. Um, like I don't know where my head was at, but soon as tip off came, like it was bad. It was a bad game for
Well, I
me,
mean,
but
credit to you just for showing up and being able to play. I
Yeah.
mean, that takes commitment. I mean, I know, like I said, that was the year before I got there, but even the year that we were together, we played Clemson at Clemson over the break, and it was sort of the same situation. Like you had an exam in the morning the day, and because we usually travel the day before a game and get sorted in the
Mhm.
hotel and stuff, shoot around, and I remember like we went and did our shoot around in the morning of the day of, and we had our pregame meal, and then it was like 2 hours before we were supposed to get on the bus to go to the game, and you had just shown up, you just
Just
landed.
got
Like, I mean,
yeah.
I can't fathom like what it's like taking those exams and then having to come play.
Yeah. That's some real dedication.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, it was. It took a lot. It took a lot. But you know what? Like the way I look at it a lot of times, and I think this is like a lot of people probably. I mean, I got a lot of praise for what I'm doing. I get a lot of like flowers, like you don't hear a lot about a guy playing, you don't hear it often about a guy playing at the highest level of college basketball and then at the same time doing law school.
Yeah,
But
that's kind of one of the questions I had was how many people out there in the Division 1 space do you think are taking the same course
None.
load that you are?
None.
None? Are you the only lawyer slash D1 star basketball player?
I don't know if I'm a star, but
Oh, you
uh
are for the amount of work you've put in, man.
Yeah.
my guy, I appreciate it. There's right now I know of Joshua Strong who just finished his second year in law school and like he's out of eligibility, I believe. So but he did law school and was playing. And then there's a guy in San Francisco, University of San Francisco, I believe. Joey Soberon, I believe his name is, and he's a baseball player who is doing it. And I don't think they have the like I said, I don't think they have the eligibility to do it all 3 years. And I think I am the first one to do that, and it would probably be rare. Like it's
Yeah.
highly unlikely somebody else will be in a situation to be able to do that again. But there's some like with COVID and stuff, like there's a bunch of smart people
Hmm.
um, that are playing sports and trying to make the most out of their
Yeah,
opportunities.
there's probably very few people that go through college and get a free, you know, regular degree like in 3 years and get a law degree all both for free. Like you're walking away debt free.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean that. I mean
crazy.
that's. I
I
could be wrong, but
know.
that probably you might be the first person ever to do that.
Yeah, as far as I know, I am, and
Yeah.
it just speaks to how I guess like how much of a blessing it is, man. I feel incredibly blessed when I, you know, just look at where I'm at right now, and like what's about to happen. No debt. Like a lot of people pay a lot of money to go to law school, and not only did I not have to pay, I got to play with and against some of the best players. Like that's insane. Like I could turn on the TV on any given night and watch somebody I played against in the NBA,
Hmm.
somebody I played with in the NBA, and like the experiences I've had, I've gained over time. Like it's something I'm immensely thankful for.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Now, one of the questions I had for you is what was your favorite memory at South Carolina on the basketball team? I know you guys had a pretty incredible run there the year Steven was there with you. You guys were picked last in the conference, and that was just a hell of a season. I thoroughly enjoyed being a fan watching Steven and the team throughout the year. What was your favorite memory of that season?
Of that season, I think we had a bunch of great memories. I feel like Yeah, that year was a lot of fun actually. Like practices were always intense, but like good, and games were obviously. I mean, we were winning. When you win, like
Yeah.
everything is so much
We
better.
had a lot of great guys who were just like good leaders too. Like it wasn't a lot of just like great players who were just out there and we weren't, compatible and not a team. Like we were a team and like I felt like that's what made it enjoyable on the court and off the court.
100%. A bunch of good guys together for real.
Hmm.
Like nobody really had a warped sense of self.
Mhm.
Nobody had a crazy ego, and guys were playing hard, and that
Hmm.
was that
Yeah,
was
I mean, there had to have been a reason where you guys went from being picked last to first, and I do think you guys hit the nail on the head there. That your team was special that year. I mean, I could see that as a fan just watching you guys. That you guys were close, worked well as a team, and I mean, defense was obviously your calling card. You can't have a
Mhm.
great defense if you don't have good communication and good kind of good relationships with your teammates. So
Yeah.
totally
Yeah.
can see that.
It was
Um,
funny. It was funny because every time you go to the SEC like conference tournament, like they give you like a little booklet with all the stats on like league leaders and like teams that are leading in like whatever category. And like South Carolina was nowhere. Like we didn't have
Yeah.
nobody in no stat category
wow.
except for Line Cooper, I believe, and like assist to turnovers or something
Hmm.
like that. And besides that, the one category we were in was like defensive efficiency, and that's it. And like I'm telling you, like there's like the whole page is full of stats, like it's like one after the other. And like I was looking for our name, I'm like, how the heck are we tied for second? And like we can't find our name nowhere. And like
Yeah.
as defense wins and culture
Team
wins, like
basketball, baby.
yeah,
So
exactly.
I had a question for you, Ben. Specific, this goes in perfect with your law degree. You're studying for your law degree, and also you played basketball at the highest level and you transferred. So, with
Mhm.
your law background, how do you see this kind of NIL era in college basketball playing out over the next 5 years?
Man, I think you're asking me right now about like one of the most like rapidly
Yeah.
developing areas of anything. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
I
I
saw
think
some news about how they might transition to a contract type of setup with
It'd be
student
smart.
athletes.
It'd be smart.
you know, 3 years. And if you want to transfer, it'd be kind of similar to a coach's contract where there's a buyout. So whether the player personally has to pay it or the team he's transferring to, there would be a buyout to get you out of say a 3 year contract with a university that has a fourth year
I saw
option.
something too where it was like if a larger university wants to poach a lower university player, they got to pay a transfer fee to that
Yeah.
lower
Yeah.
university.
yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff that I guess you know the people in charge like can get to play with. Like I feel like the canvas is kind of blank and there's a lot of stuff that they can
Mm.
do. I feel like one of the things right now that you know the critiques that I hear is that one, there's no accountability from the player side. So like, organizations, teams, like coaches, universities, like they might get cheated out their money. Like someone might come collect a check and leave and all that
Yeah.
stuff. And like, um, that's obviously not good for the sport. I mean, besides that, like some of these amounts that are, put out are, I mean, for the players, it's great. The players loving it.
Yeah.
Every coach I talk to, everybody that's part of any athletic department is kind of, saying that some of this is like running out of hand.
It
Like
just
there's
keeps going
no,
up higher and higher every year too.
yeah,
It feels like, my year just two off seasons ago, a player who had a good year at a mid major and was trying to go up, like was probably commanding around like 50 to 100,000, and that was like, pretty norm standard. And that same player can probably get like 500 to a million now. I read somewhere that
Crazy.
every starter on an SEC team is $1 million plus now.
Wow.
yeah. So it's crazy. Like from classifying players as employees to,
Hmm.
whatever salary caps and collective bargaining agreements and all those things. Like it'll be interesting what happens in this
Yeah.
space.
All right. Well, my next question for you is favorite arena and worst fans in the SEC in your 3 years.
Ooh, let's hear it.
Favorite arena? Oh man, I gotta show love to CLA. But I mean, love our people, love home court.
Go
I
Cox.
love, oh yeah, Oh yeah, absolutely. I love going to Auburn. I think they have a good environment. The gym is small. Um, it's a good time. Like, I mean, they get loud. They get loud. It's super hard to win out there. Like when we
Yeah.
only played once, and like it was rough. And let me see the worst fans. Oh man, I want to say Vanderbilt maybe. Yeah. What do you think are the worst fans?
What'd you say?
He said,
Who are you like? Who do you think are the worst fans?
Um, man, I remember Ole Miss was pretty bad when we played there. Ole
Oh
Miss,
yeah.
they were chirping at us a lot.
bunch of Mary Kate fans.
But
Yeah.
I don't mind that though. I don't hate it when they chirp like that. I mean, I feel like it kind of makes it exciting. Like if you're a fan, like it's okay to heckle a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I think of worst fans, I think of like the ones who like got all the personal information on you, and they're
oh,
like,
Missouri,
Oh no,
Missouri,
Yeah, no, that yeah, we forgot all about Missouri has a
the
section
Antlers.
called the Antlers. Like they were next level. Like they were like they're calling like our coaches' daughters and saying
That's
some.
crazy.
What is
They
it?
call me the GPA booster.
Bronson, and
No, but that's Ben though. They got that wrong. Ben's the
No, they
GPA
said it because I was
booster.
the only white guy.
No, I picked that up.
God, them boys go crazy. Like they're like bro, eyes wide, like eyes. I don't know what's in the air out there, but
What was it like this last year when you played
uh,
there?
oh yeah, they were going at it. Like they didn't have like signs like they used to, but man, they were. I don't know, them
This may be a little
boys.
They're
controversial to
OD.
talk about, but you remember? I know you remember Ben. Like, remember when they came up with that rumor on Twitter about like the Arkansas players, the Arkansas players like being gay for each other or
Oh,
something?
I remember
And then
that.
they showed up to the next. They Arkansas played at Missouri the next game, and they showed up in like dresses and stuff.
They did.
Yo,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
that was
crazy.
wild.
That's funny. That's funny. But you know what though? Like, I mean, gosh, as like college hoopers, like sometimes you gotta take a lot of crap and stuff. To me, I've always seen it as like, you gotta comes with the territory. Like, I mean, just kind of what it means to be a player at a high level. Like, fans are gonna say certain things.
Hmm.
Uh,
I was about to
sometimes
say.
it def sometimes it definitely gets taken too far, but I
Yeah.
feel like that's being a fan done right, honestly. Like,
I was about to say, Ben, I know me and you talked a lot about like when our year, like we were on Twitter all the time, like reading the funny
yeah,
like people, it really is like people think that like we don't see that kind of stuff or like, whatever, but like we see it at all. And like when I see, yeah, Stephen Clark sucks, like get him off the court. Like, yeah, like we see it. And like,
I
you
know, and
see,
I got in a little trouble because I remember coming
yeah,
to
I
your
remember
defense in
Nathan
those.
tried to make a little burner or something
oh,
and
really?
comment, and he was like, "Someone needs
Yeah.
to play Stephen Clark more." And then our media guy came up to me. He was like, "You need to tell your brother to chill out."
Oh, they found out.
Yeah,
Oh
debates. Yeah,
yeah,
debates. Like he came up to me after the game and he was like, "Oh, it wasn't on your burner. It was like on a
it
normal
was on
account."
my official.
And he
Yeah.
was like, "Yeah, you need to tell your brother to stop commenting that stuff."
Oh my! So if
Man,
that's
it was all
what happened on the
G-rated.
official, what happened
Yeah,
on the burner? That's what I want to know.
No, I went to the burner after they told
Okay.
me,
Okay.
stop having
Oh,
your brother
gotcha.
comment.
yeah,
Probably
Gotcha.
doesn't look the best thing to have, Clark, obviously his brother,
Yeah,
yeah.
getting.
yeah,
I mean, I was responding to like 20 people per game, and they're just in the comments roasting Steven or roasting South Carolina or something like that. And I'm like, all right, let me put my 2 cents in there.
yeah.
Yeah.
But Ben, I got a funny hypothetical for you. I was asked it this weekend at the bar by a friend of mine, so I've been asking a bunch of people. And with your attorney background, I feel like you're going to give a responsible answer here. So I've
Oh
got
my
high
God.
expectations for you.
Okay.
Would you rather have $1 million tax free, just wham bam in your bank account, or would you do a coin flip for 100 million?
Oh my gosh. I knew I joined the right podcast. Would I rather have 1 million tax free or a coin flip
For a
for
hundred
$100
million
million
I feel like you
dollars?
got to take the coin flip. Like, there's no,
Gotta take the coin flip.
yeah,
coin
Like,
flip.
100x your money.
like
Like,
the coin flip, yeah, the EV on the coin flip, yeah, it's just
There
higher.
you go. Yep. We're tossing the jargon out here. I knew I was asking the right
And
guy.
come on now. I read this stuff.
There we go. So you read this stuff, you know this stuff. This was the number one question I had for you. I knew I had to ask you the minute Steven said, "Hey, man, we've got BBV on this weekend." Let me ask you. So I got introduced to attorneys in that world through the very popular show everyone watches, Suits. So tell
Right.
me, how realistic is Suits to real life?
Oh man, it's a fiction. It's a fiction.
Man, that's
Harvey
so
Specter's just off base.
that is
But
so
I'll say though,
disappointing.
Yeah, that
it got
sucks.
me into it. Like the suits and all that. I was like, man, I
Yeah.
can myself dress up. You know, like Harvey had a lot of charisma. Like I was like, man, this guy coming walking in here, he big shot lawyer. Like that's what I want to be. And turns out that some of the like work is less glamorous and
Hmm.
not as flashy and all that. But
Definitely
people
not, but don't lie to me now. If you've seen the show, I know you've probably saved some Harvey Specter lines for future use when you're
Oh,
in a courtroom,
definitely.
haven't you? You've got
so
like you've got to have a clip of like 5 Harvey Specter quotes that you're just saving for the courtroom.
oh man, yeah, I'm mimicking my game after him, but he's like my Kobe, like my
There
Michael
you go.
Jordan. But funny fact, like I won't really be doing well, whatever where my career takes me, it might, but I won't be starting off my career spending a whole lot of time in the courtroom, even though like right now I'm working for the federal public defender as part of
Hmm.
a fellowship. Most of the
That's some
stuff I've
great
been doing,
experience.
it's been awesome, great perspective
What
builder.
what do you kind of want to do with your law career? Like, what's your focus?
Well, so what I'm starting off as is like a corporate lawyer. So I'll be doing M&A, working on big
Okay.
M&A deals for
Yeah.
public companies and like private equity
Yep. Right up
clients.
my alley. Maybe we'll do
Yeah, yeah,
something in the
yeah. Hey,
future there, buddy.
come on, let's do it. Let's do
So, are
it.
you going to be the type of lawyer that I like get in an accident or something and I need a lawyer
Now,
to stand me up? Are you going to do that kind of stuff for me?
I would do it for you. Yeah, but
for you,
that's not what my
I did just get in an accident. I rear-ended someone. I need you to get me out of it like ASAP.
watching Selection Sunday. What a guy.
And I'm about to put this on the internet
Oh,
now.
yeah. That's
About to
oh,
put this on the internet. They're coming for me.
like it's crazy. Like you're cooked. You're
I'm
cooked.
cooked. Yeah,
You're cooked.
because
Yeah.
they're definitely going to be watching this all 30 minutes of this.
Ah, dang.
I don't care, but
I
anyways,
ratted.
it's all good.
Dang it.
Man, so to wrap it up, do you watch the games this weekend? I assume.
Yeah, I watched some of them. I
Yeah,
watched who did I watch? Florida.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you watched a game this weekend, like you were watching the Florida game. If you had to pick a team right now, in the spirit of Lock It In podcast, we talk
Mhm.
about some future betting and all that. We got Duke at plus 100 odds, Florida plus 290, Houston plus 420, and Auburn plus 490. Where are you putting your $1,000 on a future pick to win the national championship?
Let's hear it.
You guys give me $1,000 for being here. I appreciate
Lock It
it,
In
man.
podcast is sponsoring BBV with $1,000. We're gonna put it on whoever he says is gonna
Come
win.
on. I think Florida got it. To be
Florida.
honest, I think they're too
That's
deep.
great odds right there. I mean, that's
They scared me a little bit that Elite Eight game, but we'll see.
Yeah, I would say though, Duke has been so dominant. It's been insane. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
Insanely dominant. I mean, it's just like
Flagg
they're
has
like
been
an
doing-
NBA team out there.
Man, ridiculous. I mean, they got the guys. Like they got the players, but man, what Cooper Flagg has been doing is scary. Like he's a generational player. So
I was gonna ask you guys this too. Like, do you think Cooper Flagg's the best prospect Duke's had in say the past 10 years? Yeah, because I saw like a Zion versus Cooper argument. Do you think Cooper's the best to come out of Duke in 10 years?
over Zion.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to say that. Like, it's hard to say like, yeah,
How
Cooper
long has it
Flag
been
over
since Kyrie
Zion.
left?
Kyrie was 2012.
Okay,
So
But Kyrie didn't even
outside
really
of Kyrie.
play. He didn't even really play.
Yeah, he
when
didn't
was
really
at
play.
Duke.
Played like what, 10 games?
Yeah.
so,
I don't know, man.
Nah, I mean,
He would have to be my pick. I think Cooper has had the best freshman year out of, and I mean Duke and Kentucky known for the freshman teams the past 2 decades.
It's just
I
so
think
hard to
Cooper's the best.
say. It's so hard to say Cooper over Zion just because of like Zion and like how spectacular of an athlete he was and all that, like all the highlights he had. And it's like Cooper Flag kind of goes at it in a different way, and he's kind of more low key, and he doesn't have like as many like
He's
flashy
more
plays
skilled.
or skill. Yeah, he's kind of just really raw. But like I was gonna say, I think the underrated part of this team and why they're so dominant is the center,
The big man,
Malawach
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Con Knipple, like
Con Knipple is my
and,
favorite player on that Duke
Tyrese
team.
Proctor and like they're so
Caleb
loaded. It's
Foster.
like it's not
Yeah.
even like I think that team is a lot, but he had a lot better supporting cast than Zion did. And
Definitely.
I don't know.
yeah. Well, I don't know. I feel like Zion was plagued by a lot of injuries like early on in his career. Like he was like leading the league, at his whatever, however old he was, like
Mm,
field goal percentage, like
Hmm.
and he just kept getting hurt. But man, I don't know. I'm not mad at the Cooper Flag pick though. Like what he's been doing is
yeah.
spectacular. So yeah. Did y'all see that they compared him to Kevin Love and said that if he has Kevin Love's career, like he would be a failure?
That's
That's kind
what
of
it's like
crazy
with the
comparison.
expectations. I mean, like this was like with LeBron. Like I think a lot of people fail to realize that like those were the same things with LeBron. Like they when he came out, like they said he had to be the best player ever, otherwise it was a failure, and he
Yeah.
still
Okay.
lived up to the hype and all that. So I mean,
Yeah.
expectations can.
I've got a good comparison for Cooper Flag. You tell me what you think. I think he is Scottie Pippen 2.0.
Ooh,
What do you think of that?
that's not bad.
It's not. It's. I spent some time on it. I truly
not
think it's not a
bad.
bad comparison.
I don't think it's bad either. I'm not mad at it. I'm really not. Yeah, I don't think I can come up with a better one. I've seen like who's it? The Andre whatever
Andre Iguodala.
Kirilenko. Oh no, not Andre Iguodala. Like
No,
The Russian dude that played for Brooklyn for a long time. They say he like
like
defensive.
Ilyasova or something like that.
AK-47.
Huh?
Andre Kirilenko.
Kirilenko.
AK-47.
AK-47.
That's what they call him?
That was low key my
Yeah.
player comp. Like that's what my friends in high school
Oh
called me
dang. Oh word.
because they said I kind of look like him.
I just always compare you to Jordan, but yeah.
I mean,
that's-
yeah, I mean,
I
no,
mean,
it is.
yeah.
Well, all right. Well, appreciate you coming on, BBV. I mean, we had some great questions. Glad you got to come on and kind of share your experience and what it's like being the only law person in SEC basketball history.
Hell yeah. BBV, baby.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hey, I appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
All the best to you guys.
Yeah.
Take care.